all, I would like to say thank you to the moderator, Miss Winda, for introducing us. It's very nice. And then I would like to say thank you also to STBA JIA, who already give us a chance to have this webinar. Last but not least, I would like to say thank you to all participants. I see some of my friends and then many of my students and then some of other names. Thank you so much for joining us and interested to join with our webinar. In this webinar, I would like to share my experience as a lecturer of listening subject in STBA JIA. I already teach it about 11 years. And then I would like to tell some of problems and also the solution that we can do when we want to explore our listening skill. Okay, before we going to discuss about listening skill, because there is a receptive skill, I want to explain a glance about receptive skill. Okay, so I take it from Harmer 2003, stated that receptive skill are the ways in which people extract meaning from the discourse they see or hear. The receptive skill are listening and reading because learners do not need to produce language. Okay, so they only receive and understand it. These skills are sometimes known as passive skills. And then reading and listening involve receiving information, and so they are called the receptive skill. Okay, that's about receptive skill. Before I discuss about listening, actually I have a just like a conclusion actually about problem in listening. I believe if you become a lecturer of a listening subject or maybe a teacher in a listening class, you realize that some students have this kind of problem. But because I don't do my research by myself, so I take it from Go. Okay, so the research in 1999. So he stated that the most common problem faced by students in listening in order of frequency, just like mentioned this one. The first one is quickly forgetting what is heard. And then the second, not recognizing the words they know. And then understanding the message, but not the intended message. Neglecting next part while thinking about the meaning. Enabling to form a mental representation from words heard, and then the problem of concentrating and missing the beginning of the text, and also learners' attitude to their listening problems and how they deal with this problem. I believe from seeing this problem of listening, some of you maybe directly identify what is your weakness. Some of you maybe have a problem with number 1 or number 2, and then maybe with number 3, 5, and 7. Or maybe there is one student or one language learner have a problem from number 1 till number 7. So actually, yes, that's a problem, but you need a problem solver, right? So that is why even you get a problem in studying listening or practicing listening, you need something to explore your listening skill, okay? So exploring listening skill, I take also from the theory of Harmer. So there are two theories that it's called intensive listening and also extensive listening. Intensive listening is just like what you do in your listening class. Okay, so the teacher or the lecturer giving a tape material, you have a textbook, you do the exercise in your listening class, and then so it's focusing on a listening skill in the classroom. Okay, so something that you do every week with your a lecturer or teacher in your classroom, so it's kind of intensive listening. There is another intensive listening. We call it live listening. So live listening because you actually listen from another person lively, okay? Just like reading aloud and then storytelling, interview, and also conversation. So when you reading aloud, you will listen your friend's voice or even your voice, and also with the other kind of live listening. So even it's related to another skills, just like reading or speaking, it's still uh, try to improve your listening skill. Okay, so that about intensive listening. Next, going to extensive listening. So extensive listening, a teacher encourages students to choose for themselves what they listen to and to do so for pleasure and general language improvement. And then it take place outside the classroom. So because the teacher let you to have your own topic that you like very much, so you can do everywhere, and then you can choose the topic that interests you. So maybe if you like about politics, you can listen about the politic news, or even you want to know about the lifestyle, so you can also listening to the lifestyle. So the topic is up to you. It's based on what you love, okay? And then because outside the classroom, so you can do everywhere. If you, after the class finish, you go to the discussion room and then you still want to discuss about listening, you can do in your discussion room, or even if you go by public transportation. I know that many students or many people use their headset now, so maybe it's better even only listening music, but you also can practicing, because from listening music actually you can practice your English, your listening skill also. And then the problem of extensive listening actually about these sources. Maybe many of you already did it in your daily activities, but doesn't realize that actually it's a kind of extensive listening. So the varieties of listening sources that you can have for practicing, for exploring your listening skill, just like listening music, watch favorite movie, read in audiobooks, listening in audiobooks, and then YouTube videos, and also listening application. So for exploring this one, I want to explain one by one. Okay, guys? So going to the first one is listening music. Okay, so this one my favorite. You know that extensive listenings, doing something with you love, right? And then I'm so sorry if you are, yeah, a teenager in this time. You don't know about Backstreet Boys, but it's really my favorite boy band at that time. Okay, so I will tell my experience about difficulty to study listening in my time. Okay, so at that time, in 90s, yeah, around 90s. So if I want to practice my listening, want to improve my listening skill, actually, I need to buy a cassette. The cassette is like this one. You know, it's very old, yeah, old fashioned. Okay, why I have to buy a cassette? Because there is a lyric here. Can you see? Because at that time, because I'm still learning, there are so many words that I don't know. So I can sing sometime, but I don't know it's with the correct pronunciation or no. Okay, so it's very difficult to find these sources. But nowadays, you know, in your hand, in your smartphone, actually, you can just play a YouTube with a video lyric in it, and then you can listen your favorite music, and also you can see this one, the lyric of the song. So it means that you can study. So beside it, you listen from the native speaker. The example, the word desire. You don't know about the word desire yet, and then you listen desire, and then oh, okay, in the screen of your smartphone there is the word desire, DESIRE, and then you don't know what the meaning. What is it desire? Pretending that you are just fall in love with English, okay? So it means that you just can open your dictionary, and then of course, I believe that if you interested with English, maybe in your smartphone, you also have a dictionary, or maybe you can open a dictionary, the online dictionary from the internet, and then to find out the word desire. So it's mean here you can also add your vocabulary. It's nice, right? Listening music, the music that you love, and then you can add your new vocabulary, so it's complete. Okay. Oh yeah, I know that nowadays there are so many K-popers, right? I know that even you love English, but you also like the K-pop music. Please give your time to practice your English language, your listening skill by listening the English song also. Okay, don't forget about your English. Okay, so the next one, the next sources is watch favorite movie. What must you do if you watch favorite movie to explore your listening skill? So please do without subtitle and don't translate them. Okay, why without subtitle? Because actually, if you watch subtitle, it means that you will, what is it? It's better to watch, to read than to try to listen. Okay, and then why don't translate them? Because you are not an interpreter. Okay, if you translate them one by one, you will get very much difficulty in understanding. So just listen in English. So it means that as long as you understand, so it means that you're practicing your listening skill. So it means that yeah, you get something, you practice your comprehending. Okay, so and then also oh yeah, there is a question before I can explain about movie application. So if you go to the cinema, you already pay for a little bit expensive, I think, and then you go with your friend. Should I watch without subtitle or I don't translate them? Of course, no. Don't push yourself. Just enjoy when you go to the cinema, because when you go to the cinema, usually it's a new movie that you really want to know about the plot and the others. You want to know about the end of the story. So just enjoy your time when you watch a movie in the cinema. So just practice it at home if you have a yeah, if you have a spare time at home, so just open at the movie application. There are so many that you can do. You can choose even, yeah, nowadays again with the okay, Korea. You love to have a Korean movie also. Please give your time. Please give your time to make or to use your English, okay, to use your English movie to practice your listening skill also. Okay, so that one for watch favorite movie. Do you get it from this point? Okay, I just think that you get it, okay, because you cannot answer me, right? Okay, so going to audiobooks. Yes, audiobooks actually, if you buy in, yeah, I have to mention, okay, actually Amazon doesn't give me money, okay, it doesn't endorse me, but I have to say that if you buy an audiobooks in Amazon or the other, maybe it's a little bit expensive, but actually nowadays, yes, I can tell again that you can get it in your smartphone, in your handphone. You can take from the application. For this time, I give the example of application. I install free classic audiobooks, and then beside it, listening, beside it, you study about listening. Actually, you can also practice your reading here. So why I choose classic audiobooks? Because I'm from a literature, so I have to know yeah, some kind of literature sources, so I like to have a classic one. The example like this one, so there is a category, so you can choose which one, which category that interests you. Adventure, you can do yeah, differently every week. And then I choose children book, and then I Wonder with Alice Adventure in Wonderland, and there is a play button here. Okay, and then if I click, yeah, you can find this one. So there is a recording here and also the script. It's very nice, right? So even you listen, the native speaker said from the audio one, you also can read from the script. So it means that you can get both. You know how to pronounce, and then you practice your listening, of course. It's still listening, okay? And then you also know the new vocabulary. Okay, so the next one, the next source is actually, okay, so YouTube channel, of course, yes. Why I make differential between YouTube from listening? Because, yeah, sources that I tell before focus on listening, but for YouTube channel actually you can see a lot of video that you can choose by your own interesting. So what must you do? Please, you have to watch variety of video. So it means that if this week you want to know about the lifestyle, okay, you can watch about the lifestyle. If you want to watch about your favorite YouTuber, of course, English favorite YouTuber, yeah. So it's to practice your English, okay? So you can watch it. Or even you want to know about so many tips of English skills. So there are so many teacher from British and then from American or even from Indonesia who make a video in YouTube. And then to make or to enlarge your knowledge about the accent, please do variety of accent also. Sometimes you listen from British accent and then American accent, or even Scottish, or even Australia, or maybe just try with the Asian one. So maybe Singapore or even from Thailand. Every person from their region, when they speak English, they will what is it, we heard differently. I give you my experience when I went to Singapore. At that time I buy I buy food in a fast food restaurant, and then the waiter told me like this one: Ihiu or takeaway? Oh my God, I don't know, right? Ihiu or takeaway? So Ihiu, because at that time it's from, I believe that is from maybe from Indian. I don't know, but because I translated by the context, okay, maybe Ihiu, in my opinion, is it here, right? So I think if you already listen a lot of accent, you will not be shocked when you first listen to the accent. Okay, so please, from YouTube video, you can practice from variety of videos and variety of accent. And then the next one, I think this one, the last sources from me. Actually, there are so many other sources. So if you have another, maybe you can share in the chat room. Okay. So for listening application, it's on your handphone also, guys. Everything's so easy nowadays, right? So please don't let your time only for your social media, but practicing also. Okay. So just like listening application, I take an example from this one, English listening practice. Okay, so what can you find in this application? So there are so many topic here, from English with news, and then beginner conversation, courses conversation, till the advanced, and also the kind of there is a dialogue, a podcast, and then just like a news, there are so many kind of sources here. Okay, so if you take this one, it's from beginner, I think. So there is a transcript here. So there is an audio also, so you can play the audio, and then there is a transcript and also the quiz. So you can do the quiz. So it means that you practice your comprehending. It's nice, right? And then the other sources, actually this one, I tried the new one from Simple Radio. I don't know it before, but when I tried to arrange this presentation, I found that Simple Radio can be used for giving you a practicing of listening skill. Yeah. So this one, if you already install Simple Radio, oh yeah, again, I don't have any endorsement with English listening practice and Simple Radio, okay? I just try to share my experience to studying about listening. And then this one, so from Simple Radio, actually I can hear BBC Radio London. So if in the morning, maybe I can pretending myself that I am in one of apartment in London. Oh my God, it's very beautiful, right? Yeah, even I'm in my home. Okay, so you can listen from this radio the accent of the British one. Or I just tried 2 days ago. I tried to find what is it? What we call it? A frequency from Singapore, and then from Australia, and also from New York. So every day you can choose a new one from your Simple Radio. So that one resources about how you can explore the listening skill. And then there is the next question actually. So some of students say, Miss, I already try all of the things that you mentioned before, okay? So, but I feel that my English doesn't improve, too many, or doesn't give a great improvement. So what must you do? Maybe this one can help you. I give you tips. Maybe this one doesn't you do every day. So please, my tips is be consistent. Mean, please do it every day about 15 and 20 minutes. Okay, it's a great time to practicing. Be consistent. Okay, but if you think that, oh my God, Miss, I'm really busy, I have another subject, please, I have another assignment from another lecturer, so I don't have a time to practice it, what must I do? Please, okay, just do about 5 or 10 minutes, okay, as long as you do every day. So be consistent every day. And then the second one, please staying interested. Okay, please staying interested. Why? Because you choose your favorite topic. Okay, I don't push you to choose your topic, so you can do with your own. So it means that if this time I want to practice from this kind of topic, just do that one. If the next day I want to take that topic, it's okay. Okay, please staying interested. And then the next one, make your target. You must have a target. Why? If you already reach your target, you will be satisfied, and then try to use another thing to improve or explore your listening skill. Okay, I give one example of scheduling. Okay, the schedule is like this one. So on Monday, maybe you have a listening music, 1 or 2 songs enough. Okay, Tuesday you watch movie. Yeah, watch movie with different accent, with different kind of movie. If me, I like a superhero movie, just choose your own. Okay, and then Wednesday I listen to audiobooks, and then Thursday watch YouTube video with the variety of video and accent also. Friday I listen from application just like English listening practice, and then Saturday listen from Simple Radio application, and then Sunday you can do listening exercise from your textbook. Why I ask it in Sunday? Maybe your lecturer give you a homework, and then you want to try home to do the exercise in your textbook. You can listen more than twice, because in your class usually maximal you can listen 3 times, right? So if you want to have a good score also in your listening class, so just practice before the class begin, and then you will perfectly in the class. Okay, so I have another question. I think that's become a question. What about if I still in progress of learning English, and I already learned English a long time ago, so it means that you forget, but I have to face a real situation of listening. So what must you do? right? So if you, I believe that everyone in Indonesia, or maybe you, that English actually we already learn from kindergarten. Some of student in the city start in kindergarten, right? And then you finish with senior high school maybe, or even now you already university student, or even you already work in the great company. So what must you do if you are in the real situation and you don't have any self-confidence that you are good in English? Okay, so just like this, please relax. Okay, why you have to relax? If you busy with your own thinking, if you worries with your own ability in listening, and then, oh my god, I don't know what he said, oh my god, oh, I cannot understand this one. So it's meant that you busy with your own mind, and then you cannot listen what he or she said, right? So it's meant that if you cannot listen, if you, yeah, just try to understand, just relax, and then try to find the context. Okay, so understand it by its context. And then so the example like this one, if you go to yeah, maybe you go to the airport, and then you heard someone said, or the staff said, the airport staff said like, yeah, do you want to check in? And then you heard, what is it, chicken, no. So because you are in airport, maybe chicken you heard is check in, right? So use the context. And then you can also see from the body language, and then you can explain it by your gesture, your voice of tone. There are so many tools that you can use when you have a real situation. Or if the native speaker speak too fast, please ask them to speak slower. Why? Because actually in real situations, so it's mean in dialogue, right? So in dialogue, the point of dialogue actually understanding each other. So if you think that you have a problem with your listening, so it's mean that you can ask them to speak slower. So it can help you to, yeah, to understand, and then take the meaning by its context. Okay, so that one the question that maybe in your mind, in your head, when you have a listening. Beside it, I give about exploring your listening skill. I hope this kind of tips can help you also to face the real situation when you have listening session. So I hope this information from me can give you advantages and help you to solve the problem of your listening. And then I really wait for your response. You can give me a suggestion if you have another sources. So maybe I can share to my class also. And then you can also give a question in question answer session. Okay, thank you so much for your kind attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.